y'all. So this is gonna be more of an update video for mostly the riding mowers that I've gotten. As you can see, I have quite a few in here. It's actually kind of embarrassing how bad this garage looks, and quite honestly, I've outgrown the garage at this point, kind of unintentionally. I'll get into that a little bit later. But first off, I just want to say thank you all for the positive feedback about the Open, as I'm trying to grow the channel and just make out, a little bit cleaner, more quality content. I figured that would be a good addition, so thank you all for that. I know we're up, as of this video, up to about 1,150 subscribers, so thank you to all who subscribe. And if you like mower stuff, riding mower stuff, customer return push mower stuff, or just general push mower stuff, or you're just here visiting to figure out how to fix your mower, save a little cash, I appreciate the view. Feel free to drop a like, comment, subscribe, whatever you would like to do. Well, I've gotten quite a few mowers going on here, and should I just get into it, or I can start with just a general overview of what I have gotten done so far. As you can see, a couple more bonuses back here that I'll get to, but I can't get to the lean-to right now because I'm just trying to keep the mowers neat, and I don't want to start having my house and yard and stuff looking kind of junky. But the push mowers are done, all but I have to swap out a base plate on one that has a blown engine, and the one with the Honda engine, I have to put one part on. That video will likely be coming in the next couple weeks. What I am trying to do is do kind of more of a consistent schedule here over the winter, just so I can give you all new content as it is quiet and the grass isn't growing and I'm not really turning over mowers that much. I'm just kind of bulking up for the spring. You'll see me drop a video every Wednesday at 8, and I'll keep that scheduled throughout the holidays and into the spring. If I have more content that warrants it, I'll do it twice a week, probably either Wednesday and Saturday or Wednesday and Sunday, just to kind of get on that schedule, just so kind of y'all, for those that are loyal subscribers or just interested in this stuff, I'll be doing my best to drop a new video every week through the winter, and hopefully even pick up more in the spring. Let's get to it. The Craftsman 2 mower here. I got this Craftsman 2 and this Troy Bilt, which I've actually filmed a video on. I just haven't gotten it together. So what I'm going to do, since I'm doing an update on all the riders, is I'm going to put a couple of bonus clips at the end of this one that include these two mowers and just the general overview of them. I'm just going to highlight everything just to keep it up to date, so to speak, and consistent, not too long. But this is a Craftsman 2 mower. It's a 5-speed with a 38-inch deck. You can see the deck is currently off of it. I found out that the deck is broken right here on the back. It's not rusted out by any means. It's actually in excellent shape. These 38-inch decks you never ever see in good shape. They're always either rotted, rusted. The broken bracket is not too bad. There's a little bit of welding to fix that. I have the carb bowl sitting here. This one's likely going to be the first one, or the next one of all of them that you see in this garage and outside, just because it's a little bit of a pain to move mowers and stuff around. These riders anyways. This one should run. I have not gotten to it yet, but it's got a mouse nest under the cover here, so I'm going to have to clean all that out. Fuel lines and everything look good on it. Carb bowl's a little rusted, which means it's probably had some water in the fuel, but it doesn't look gummed up. I mean, look, it's very clean under there. And so it'll need an air filter. It might need a carb clean, and it's gonna need is it a left rear? I think it's a left rear tire too, but might need both. Actually, the right rear is staying up, so it's the left rear that's going down. The rest of the tires are up. For it to be made in 1994, this one was kept under a shelter. It is, once I get this thing washed, it is going to be very nice. Hopefully I can get a good 350 out of it, if there's no other unforeseen stuff. I do know the motor has compression and a little low on oil. It's good. Let me skip the John Deere for a second. Let me go to the Troy Bilt. The Troy Bilt, as far as I know, and y'all in the mower business know as well, I did a video on it. I'm probably not going to post it just because it was it was just a whole bunch of bantering and trying to figure out, is the compression release broken on it? Well, I've got a 300 cold cranking amp battery that I put in it that was fully charged, and it still couldn't turn it over. And the carburetor was full of fuel, or not full of fuel, but I think it was leaking at the needle and seat, so I might have to put a carburetor on it or clean this one out or put a new needle and seat. New carburetor for these riding mowers is like $15. I mean, you know, why worry with trying to make one that has a leaking needle and seat, rebuilding it? We can just buy the new one for that cheap. You'll see in the next clip after this one that the transmission belt, I believe the guide pulley or the tension pulley has a broken spring on it. I might cover it in that video or not. I might not. But the tension pulley spring is broken. I got to replace that, and I'll have to put blades on it. I got like a mysterious leak. It seems like it's leaking oil a little bit. It might just be here from the from where this outlet tube is. I might have to just kind of work on that whenever I have the bottom of it off, because I'm going to have to put a compression release mechanism in it. And from whatever I've seen, it seems like if I buy a Briggs or if I buy one of them Chinese ones, that it's just kind of a shot in the dark if it's going to hold up for more than 3-4 hours. Hopefully it does. I mean, you know, a lot of people write bad reviews and don't write good reviews if it does work. So that's going to be about $40. The spring, I'm hoping to only have about, with the tube, I'm hoping to only have about $75 plus the cost of the mower. So I should have less than $200 in this, because I got this for $100. I got that one for $40, and should be able to sell this one. This one probably fetch $450. If I'm lucky, I might get $500 out of it. I do have the hood for it. It's just laying over there because it's a pain to take off, and I knew I was going to be working on the motor, make it a lot easier. So let's do the John Deere next. So this John Deere I got from my girlfriend's dad, who has too much property to use this anymore. It's been sitting out for a little while. If you know John Deere's, you know that the decks are a weak point on these things. This is the LA 105 with the 5-speed transmission on it. The decks are just the weak points by far on it. What I've noticed so far on it is that this pulley is down. I don't know if it looks like the deck has pulled it down, or the deck's gotten pulled down on it. And the bracket on the, I guess, the back side here. Let's see if I can get the camera down there. The bracket on the back side there is broken, which this is the third John Deere I've gotten that's had a broken deck bracket that I've, with a little bit of welding work, is going to get repaired. I have the owner's manual for it right there, and the blade, and an extra set of blades. The blades that are on it look good. Just kind of worried a little bit about the way that pulley is off center there. This one's got the 19.5 horse on it. Again, got the battery with it. Is that a 175 cold cranking amps? I wonder that these things even start with that low of a cold cranking amp battery. I always try and get the 230. Again, this is just a preview of what's to come over the winter and into the spring as I work on these and try and get ahead. So if you notice, there is one mower missing from the equation. Let me get to that in a second. The Murray is still, it's going to get fixed. As I told y'all, I did one of those deals where I bought from a fake website, and so I'm working to get my money back for the gas tank that I tried to buy from them, that I didn't get. And so when I get that, hopefully within the next month, it's just a couple of things I got to button up. Just put the blade back on, the spindle there, level the deck up, clean it up, put the gas tank on. And this one should be good to go. Probably good, hopefully I can get a good 350 out of it. I think it's worth that in the spring whenever I sell it off. Now, you'll notice that there is one green Craftsman missing. That is the nicer, cosmetic-wise 42-inch, 16 horsepower single-cylinder Briggs one. That had a little bit of the deck. You know, I had to do a bunch of deck repair and stuff on. I have that video posted a few back. I actually got somebody to buy that one from me. Not necessarily buy it. I got a couple of trades on it. That was a good mower after I got it finished. The person that bought it from me, she got it, like, cut a good 15 minutes and such around the yard, and saw that it was good. So I like when people are able to actually get seat time on the mowers instead of just dropping it off and saying everything's good and running. Like, I don't like to do that. Always give people contact info and stuff if they have any issues. Well, this 19.5 horsepower twin is still here. I sold the other green one for $325. Monetary wise, I got some trades, the ones that you saw back there earlier. This one I dropped to $350, just trying to get a little bit of space in the garage. For the winter, we'll see if anybody bites. It is the winter after all, but people are still using these things. Leaves are still falling, so they're using them to chop up leaves and stuff. So we'll see if anybody bites on it. If not, I'll probably list it for $400 in the spring, and it will likely go fast. Now, in the back here, I got a couple of Craftsmans. As you can tell, I do favor Craftsman mowers, but I have like a whole myriad of them. I got a Craftsman, an MTD, a John Deere, and a Murray. Maybe if I can pull it off, I would love to give y'all a video comparison of all four of them. I'm going to give y'all a video comparison of just some of the common Craftsmans with those two green ones that I have coming up. And also have filmed a couple of buying guides for used, like just what to look for whenever you go out and buy a used riding mower, as well as I'm going to do one more Craftsman specific as well. This one, we'll do this one first. This is one of the limited edition LT 1750 riding mowers. This is an extremely nice mower. It's got all the nice, like, steering wheel on it, soft touch steering wheel. I got the keys with it. These two, so I sold the green Craftsman and just did a straight trade for these two. Usually I don't like doing straight trades. I don't like giving more than about $100 or so for each mower that I buy. This battery can sit right there. They robbed the solenoid off of this to try to fix that one, but were unsuccessful. So I'm gonna have to figure out the solenoid situation and stuff. This one's got the 17.5 horsepower Kohler Pro engine. She said it had been sitting outside for about a year. Not that big of a deal. She just didn't have the shed space for it. As you can tell, it's just a little faded plastic. It's not really rusted or anything. The big advantage to this, and I always say with the Craftsman decks, if you can find one, is the ones that have the heavy-duty 12-gauge steel deck on them. I have yet to see one of these rusted out. And this one has a couple of surface rust spots, but it's in great shape overall. So far, I have not really looked at what these mowers consist of yet, but so far I know I'm going to have to, and I can probably show you. So you can tell it's leaf season because you can hear the blower running. I got the deck all the way up. This right here is broken, but that's not that big of a deal. I may investigate how to potentially fix it, but with the way that it's bent and whatnot, I don't really want to mess with it any more than I have to, because I think it's a pretty big pain to try and fix the whole mechanism. But it's got the little twist arm on it. Oh, it's a little... I might have to keep that, y'all. Nice little Craftsman tractor. keychain. That's a keepsake. I didn't see that last night. Hydrostatic transmission. This one's just really nice overall. The limited edition, they just did a couple extra perks. They might have put these reflectors on the back. I don't know, because I wasn't the original owner of it. But it's got all of the stuff on. All the little perks with the upgrades and the deck and whatnot. This spindle is actually broken on it. They must have hit something with it. We'll investigate that a little bit further when the time comes. So I see a spindle, a solenoid, and it's the Kohler Command. I've heard terrible things about the Kohler Courage ones, but I've never really had any issues with the Command engines, apart from the carburetors seem to be quite leaky on them, and they are also known, I've had two that have had flywheel keys break whenever I used to do more riding mowers in the past. This one runs, according to the previous owner of the mower, this is the LT2000. It has the 6-speed transmission, and it is another 12-gauge steel deck. You can see it has been cutting pretty recently. She said that the starter solenoid went out in it. You see the tanks on the front of this one instead of in the back, and don't have the big tank on it. Let's look at the air filter on. It's probably pretty dirty. It's actually not too bad on the surface, but more dirty on the inside, so I'll have to be getting a couple of air filters, maintenance items, oil. Let's look at the oil. I really haven't checked these mowers because I just got them. It's going to stand to be changed, but it's not bad. It might even still have gas in the tank. Yeah, it's still got gas in the tank, so this one hopefully will be an easy fix, and it will likely need I know it needs a right rear tire tube. I think all the other tires are holding air just fine. I'm going to have to bend the steering back a little bit, bend the steering arms in, because they has a little bit of a toe out issue. Neither of those are big problems at all. I've done both of those. It looks like that arm got bent out some, so I'll have to bend that arm back in for the steering. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing, I'm sorry. I'll have to bend this tab back in for the steering. So I think that's what I had to do in the past, and that should actually be it. You can see, let's look at that. You look at that, and you can see that the steering mechanism is bent a little bit right there on the bottom. So anyways, before this gets too long, again, updates take a little while. You all are one of the reasons why I've gotten back into doing riding mowers. I've got a Cub push mower in the back. Actually needs the rear drive self-propel. It needs the back wheels on it. So I'll do a video on that. A lot of stuff happening here. Hopefully I can get it all done before the spring. I try and take every hour and every minute to give y'all content, but in addition to try and get these riders ready, and really you all are the reason why I'm doing riders. One of the reasons. There's many other reasons. Others are a little bit higher profit margins, and to challenge myself. I was quite honestly getting bored doing just the customer return push mowers and stuff, because they were easy and you always try and move forward. So I just wanted to get back into doing riders now that I have the space, and it allows me to also give y'all more fresh content to put out, to kind of give the channel a little bit of a variety and give me a challenge, and let y'all see that I can, even though it sometimes looks ugly, I can do things. Anyways, that's the end of this video. I will add 2 additional clips on the end of this, just so that y'all kind of give a sense of at least the first 2 that are likely to come down the pipe. I know this one will be the first one that y'all see coming up. So thank y'all again for watching, and stay tuned for the next. Alright, so they are in their final resting place for tonight. I've got a few things to cover tomorrow. They look good overall, though. Like I said, I thought I was going to look at them tomorrow. Both of them have, this one's full of oil. The oil is clean as everything. That one right there, oil's not that bad. It's a little bit below the add mark. Those 12 horses are known to use a little bit of oil, especially once they get old. I have to show you all an issue with the deck on this one, which is not really an issue. The key switch on this one, probably just from a deadish battery. And I'm just not a fan of the seat safety switches on the MTDs. That's your seat safety switch. However, I'm wondering, because there's a bungee strap attached here for whatever reason to the spring. I'm wondering if that has anything to do with the issue of the starting. I'll be doing separate videos on these, but just a couple things to think about overnight. We'll give them a good synopsis tomorrow. Alright, so I'm going to let this video come to a close as well. Just because I'm going to do more in-depth videos on each of these riding mowers, I'm just going to finish the synopsis of them and what I have seen so far. Now that I've got them in that it's still light outside, although it's not really a lot of light this time of year that I'm filming. The deck belt on this one appears to be in good shape. It is just off the mower, and most likely because the deck is jacked around. And actually, I might have just saw something that would explain why the deck is down like that, which I may have not seen in the light. And yep, there it is. I spoke too soon, and the bracket looks like it's broken on that one. So that would explain why it is sitting down. I don't know why I didn't see that earlier. That's kind of unfortunate, but again, a very easy fix, a nice welding job. All the rest of the brackets are in good shape. So I'll have that to do. It appears. And let's see what else I've got. So that would actually level out the deck like it's supposed to be, it looks like. That would put it up where it's supposed to be. So I could give my dad a welding job, since I don't have a welder yet. But I know it'll need a back tire tube. I think the rest of them, it was leaking like crazy when I was doing that. I think the rest of them are good. I think this thing will actually run. So I might work on getting the deck off of this one. But the battery, I mean, it was running probably up until about 4 years ago, it looks like, because the battery is 2015. It looks like it got a lot of corrosion and stuff on it, but that's pretty par for the course. Before you have a charged battery that's been sitting, it's not been in the elements, but kind of out there for a while. The Troy Bilt, I know is going to need at least a left front tube. The issue I've likely found with the key and what he was talking about with it not starting after about 10 seconds. I look back here and it's only about 5 volts in the battery. The positive terminal is actually loose on it. So that would explain why it would potentially not be starting right on the, at the beginning because of the connection. So it's probably not that bungee strap. Looks like I'm going to have to potentially do some deck leveling on this as well in the front. The deck looks like it's in good shape overall, though. And because you can kind of see where it's kind of sitting down a little in the front, although it can't come up anymore because of the bracket. So I might just need to lift this side up just a little bit, or maybe it's the way that it's supposed to be. I'm going to have to test cut with it. But like I said, I'll end this video here. I'm going to do a more in-depth video on each of these riding mowers, getting it fixed and whatnot. So again, thank you all for watching. As you can see, I'm really enjoying the riding mower stuff. Takes a little bit longer, but here in the off season when I'm working on these, it gives me something to do. That way, whenever the spring comes, I'm ready to go. I'm making a little bit more money. So thank y'all again. And you'll see these mowers coming up again in future videos.